legends that get passed down at universities. They're like urban legends. Every university has them. Most of them aren't true, and most of them can't be verified. So it's really exciting when you can use the photographic evidence from the archives to learn something.
We celebrated Miss Bonnie's birthday this year by posting some stories and some photographs on the UNC Charlotte website. In doing so, I sent an email to her two nieces, one that lives in South Carolina and one that lives in Maryland. And her niece who lives in Maryland, her daughter actually lives in Alaska. And she owns Miss Bonnie's house right across from the front gates of our campus. And just by chance, she was on the phone with a repair person doing some HVAC repairs on Miss Bonnie's house. And he worked here, knew Miss Bonnie very well, and did a lot of work for her over time. Well, she mentioned to him that day was Miss Bonnie's birthday, and he made the comment that he knew where the shovel was that Miss Bonnie used for groundbreaking.
Not to my knowledge had anyone ever considered, maybe we should look for that shovel. It just wasn't the kind of thing that you would think would still exist or still be around.
I contacted the gentleman. We met here on campus, and he proceeded to tell us that he'd retired 14 years prior to the time we were meeting. So I just knew the shovel was gone. He said it was in the rafters of the old warehouse. So we walked in the warehouse, looked up, of course no shovel. And then there was a lady in the warehouse, Wanda, who's been here for 37 years. She came out, met Troy, met us, and told us that she thought that the shovel had been placed next door in an abandoned warehouse. So she retrieved the key. We opened the door. The building was very dark. It was old and dusty and dirty. And in the corner, there was this shovel, red-handled shovel, and it reminded me of a scene from Schindler's List with the little girl with the red jacket on in front of all of the gray. It just stood there saying, "Please help me." And that's the way the shovel spoke to us that day.
I wasn't 100% sure it was a shovel, but we brought it back to the university archives, and I had the university archivist at the time pull the photographs. We looked at them all, and we looked at the shovel, and even though the shovel's main sort of feature is its bright red handle, and even though the photographs are black and white, you can still tell it's the same shovel. It's the same size, and when you really look at the photographs of the shovel, you can see that it is painted a color. There's a seal on the shovel, so by looking at the seal, such as it was, by looking at the size of the shovel, the shape of the shovel, you could really tell it was the same shovel used in the groundbreaking.
In talking with Miss Bonnie's nieces about it, they weren't surprised that the shovel was red-handled because Miss Bonnie's favorite color was red.
We didn't have the shovel. For the most significant groundbreaking in this university's history, we did not have that shovel. And so now we do have it. And so it's just an important artifact that represents one of the biggest milestones in the university's history.
To me, it was really bringing this first artifact to light that we didn't know existed, but we found it. And it symbolizes the building of UNC Charlotte from very few students to over 28,000 students this year. Miss Bonnie's been dead over 10 years, and she'd be amazed today at what she started in the basement working at night has developed into one of the major universities on the East Coast.